Hello students, welcome back for the class of MBA Semester 4 International Marketing Environment. Today is our lecture number 29, 30 and 31. We are going to discuss about some other India's foreign trade policies or EXIM policies. So, the primary objective of our today's session is help to understand the India's foreign trade policies or EXIM policies. So, the contents of our today's session are EXIM policy 2002 to 2007, foreign trade policy 2004 to 2009. Okay, the other two policy will be a part of presentation. Okay, foreign trade policy 2009 to 2014, foreign trade policy 2015 to 2020. It is a new policy, and other various resolutions were takes place in the last two policies, so that we are going to discuss in the classroom. So first of all, we are going to discuss about this EXIM policy 2002 to 2007. Prior to that, we will discuss one of the policy that is called as 1997 to 2002. So the primary objective of this EXIM policy is to stimulate the sustained economic growth by providing access to essential raw materials, intermediaries, components, consumable, capital goods required for augmenting production and providing services. Even this was the objective in the earlier policy also. So there will be some enhancement in these current policies. So some sort of technological strength and efficiency has been increased so far, okay, during these policies, particularly in the field of Indian agriculture, industry, services, thereby improving their competitive strength, okay, while generating some new employment opportunities and encourage the attainment of internationally accepted standard of quality. Even if you are familiar with the earlier policy, okay, some of the objectives are common in these policies also. So maybe uh, this policy is an extension of the earlier policy. So to provide the consumer with good quality products and services at internationally competitive prices, while at the same time creating the level of playing field for domestic producers. So some other advancement has been made in policy apart from making available some consumer products to the consumer. So this policy has to concentrate on making the India's domestic market, okay, more and more uh, tradable, so that they can trade easily, specifically the domestic trade, okay, and that gives rise to the some opportunities particularly for local producers. So these are the primary objectives of these EXIM policies 2002 to 2007. Now, when we are talking about the different kinds of features and highlights of these policies, now there were lots of changes, okay, whichever has been made after the earlier policy and which were introduced in this 2002 to 2007 policies. The first change would occur in the form of special economic zones, okay. So in case of special economic zones, okay, number of special economic zones were set up across India, particularly wherever some sort of facilities, say for example offshore banking units, OBUs, shall be permitted in the special economic zones. So OBUs has been started, okay, particularly in the SEZ to promote the international trade, okay, from these special economic zones. Units in SEZ would be permitted to undertake hedging of commodity prices, risk provided, such transactions are undertaken by the units on standalone basis. So in some cases at SEZ, okay, particularly some particular form of commodities, okay, that will tries to take undertake the trading related activities across the boundaries, okay, or by means of hedging. So there will be hedging of activities, and on standalone basis it will be implemented from this SEZ. Units under SEZ shall be permitted external commercial borrowing (ECBs) for the tenure less than 3 years. So some special provisions has been made under these SEZ. 4 existing EPZ export processing zones have been converted into SEZ, and 13 new SEZ, okay, have been already been given the approval. So some new SEZ has been identified, okay, particularly by the government of India, and they were also given the approval to promote the international trade from these special economic zones. There were lots of changes specifically in the field of agriculture. So there we will see these changes according to some sector wise. So removal of quantitative and packaging restrictions has been recommended during these policies. Particularly there are some special measures which have been covered under 2A employment oriented measures. So butter, pulses, grain, flour of barley, maize, bajra, okay, ragi, and jowar. Okay, removal of restrictions on export of cultivated and other than wild varieties of seed, except jute and onion. Okay, some restrictions have been removed on them. 20 agriculture export zones have been notified, particularly specially for agricultural products exports. Transport subsidy for exports of food, fruits, vegetable, floriculture, poultry, dairy products. Okay, they were also identified and given to the exporters. 3% special DEPB rate for duty entitled passbook rate for primary and processed food exported in retail packing of 1 kg or less. So particularly those exporters, those are exporting some particular form of primary products or processed food products, okay, in retail packaging of less 1 kg or less than 1 kg. Some duty entitled passbook scheme has been given some sort of 3% special DEPB rate for them has been given to them. Cottage sector and handicrafts, an amount of 5 crore under the Market Access Initiative (MAI) has been earmarked for promoting the cottage sector, okay, exporting coming under the Khadi and Village Industries Commission (KVIC). Okay, so KVIC has been primarily established particularly under this policy, Exim Policy 2002 and 2007. Okay, and amount of 5 crore has been given particularly for market access initiative. Some other market access initiative scheme has been set up particularly for the development of websites for many virtual exhibitions of products from the handicraft sectors. So here some sort of boost has been given to handicraft sector by means of starting some websites including some market access initiative. Entitlement for export house status has been at 5 crore instead of rupees 15 crore for others. So if you are familiar with in the earlier policy we talk about export houses. So duty entitlement for export houses has been there, okay. Earlier it was 15 crore, okay, and it is decreased to 5 crore. Entitlement of duty free import of an enlarged list of items on embellishment up to 3% of FOB value of the export. Okay, so duty free import scheme has been introduced particularly for those exporters those are exporting nearly 3% of the FOB value. Okay, so such kind of exporters has been given some duty free imports. So that will tries to generate some sort of employment opportunities among the industries. Even in small scale industries, okay, lots of schemes had been introduced, so that will further rise in the development of the employment oriented activities, okay, so as to give some sort of economic boost up. Okay, so economic and export excellence, okay, such as Tirpur for hosiery, woolen blankets in Panipat, woolen knitwear in Ludhiana. Okay, so some sort of industries, okay, that are belonging to woolen industries or woolen garments or blankets, okay, which are being promoted, okay, particularly those are belonging to the small scale sectors. EPCG facility export uh, export EPCG, under which some sort of credit has been given, okay, to these exporters, okay, facility for common service providers in these areas. Market access initiative for creating focus technological services and marketing abroad to recognize associations of the units in SSI. So some sort of industries those are belonging to SSI. So some technological services as well as marketing support has been provided under the market access initiatives. Entitlement of export houses status up to 5 crore, okay, instead of 15 crore has been given under this policy. Even similar form of changes for leather sector, duty free import up to 3% of the FOB value, okay, which can be given to the leather garments. So these form of again facilities has been offered under this EXIM policy 2002 to 2007. Similarly, electronic hardware, okay, conversion of electronic hardware technology park, okay, we will call them at ESTP, electronic hardware technology part, okay, into zero duty regime under, okay, ITA, Information Technology Agreement Act 1, okay, has been issued. Some sort of special license has been given by means of setting some technological parks across the city. Net foreign exchange, NFE, okay, as a percentage of export, NIP, okay, to be made positive in 5 years. So according to either FOB value or NEP value, their percentage of export has been fixed. Okay, those where who has been produced some positive results within the last 5 years. No other export obligations for units in EHTP, Export Hardware Technology Park. So industries those who are belonging to ESTP, so there is no obligation of export because they are 100% export oriented units. Chemicals and pharmaceuticals, 65% of DEPP rates, okay, for pesticides formulation. Some other sort of credit has been given to the scheme those who are belonging to DEPP, duty entitled passbook scheme. No limit on export of the samples. Reimbursement of 50% of registration fee on registration of drugs. So industries those who are going to register their new drugs, okay, so they can reimburse up to 50% of registration fee. Okay, some new projects, free import of equipment and other goods used abroad for more than 1 year, okay, which can be permitted by the this scheme. Even strategic package for status holders, okay, that gives rise to some growth oriented measures to the economy. So that will be called as special kind of licenses, certificates, permissions, custom clearance, especially for both imports and export on self declaration basis. So companies those who are being self declaring themselves that they are the exporters and they need to occupy some sort of certifications, okay, so they will easily get that particular certifications and licenses. Priority finance for medium and long term capital requirement as per the conditions notified by the RBI. So according to that RBI, some long term or medium term capital loans has been given to some particular form of industries, those who are looking for finance. Exemption for compulsory negotiation of documents through banks. However, the remittance would continue to be received through banking channels. There are some compulsory negotiable documents over there. Okay, so which particular documents are essential particularly at banking channels so that one can make the payment to the other party, specifically in case of export and import. Okay, so that has been streamlined over here. 100% retention of foreign exchange in exchange earners foreign currency. Okay, IEEFC account. Okay, some special kind of schemes are there. So 100% retention of foreign exchange, particularly whichever those are being looking for to make the payment in that particular foreign currency, in which particular account, so that can be even permitted under this policy. Enhancement in normal repatriation period from 180 days to 360 days. Okay, companies those who are being looking particularly to establish the form of export or import or to settle their payment related terms and conditions. So repatriation period has been increased from 180 days to 360 days. So these are the growth oriented measures. Some other growth oriented measures are diversification of the market, setting up the business centers in Indian missions abroad for visiting Indian exporters and businessmen. So some sort of delegations, okay, that would could go over here, okay, by means of using that business centers were set up across the various countries. ITPO, India Trade Promotion Organization. Okay, primarily this organization could be responsible for arranging some sort of exhibitions across the world. So ITPO portal has been set up, okay, for permanent virtual exhibition for Indian exports products, okay, by means of the government of India. Focus on Latin American countries those are called as LAC, Latin American countries, has been extended up to March 3. So some countries those who are belonging to that Latin America, okay, permission has been granted to them, government of India, to make the export and import from this. Focus Africa has been launched for developing trade relations with sub-Saharan African regions. Some sort of boost up has been there, particularly for to increase the export within from the areas like Africa. The exporters exporting these markets shall be given some export house status on export of 5 crore. So such countries, such companies, those who are exporting to the sub-Saharan African region, okay, and suppose they are being exporting up to 5 crore, okay, per annum. So some special scheme they will be announced as the export houses status. Link with Commonwealth of Independent States CIS countries to be revived. So there are some countries, say for example even Russia, USSR. Okay, so link has been established to make the international trade with these countries also. So these are the lots of growth oriented measures has been took place during this period of time. Some northern eastern states like Sikkim, Jammu and Kashmir, okay, they were being linked up with transport facilities, okay, by means of using transport subsidy for exporters, which has been given to the units which are being located under northern eastern states, Sikkim, Jammu, Kashmir, okay, so as to offset the disadvantage of being far from the ports. So some sort of advantage has been given to these states, those who are belonging to the India. Okay, so northern eastern states, Sikkim, Jammu and Kashmir, so they were given some added advantage. Neutralizing higher fuel cost has been rebated from all the export products. This would enhance the cost competitiveness of our export products. So it is quite necessary to neutralize the higher fuel cost. Okay, so exporters has been granted by means of using some sort of rebate, okay, or some sort of subsidies under this scheme. Some other different sort of measures has been took place, okay, by means of identifying some trust based areas, okay, under this scheme. Import and export of samples to be liberalized for the encouraging the product upgradation. So product upgradation scheme was introduced during these policies. Penal interest rate for bona fide default to be brought down from 24% to 15%. Some special type of interest would be there for exporters and importers. No penalty on realization of export proceed in the respect of cases covered by ECGC insurance package. So Export Credit Guarantee Corporation of India even also introduced under this scheme, okay, and no penalty for non-realization of exports, which has been covered under these policies. No seizure of stock in a trade so as to disturb the manufacturing process affecting delivery schedule of the exporters. So one cannot seize the stock, okay, in the trade, okay, and they can disturb the overall delivery of the schedule of whatever form of commodities or goods which has been exported from the exporter. Foreign inward remittance certificates FIRC was introduced under this scheme to be accepted in the lieu of bank realization. So bank realization, particularly during the payment processing, okay, this was quite necessary to make the clearance of documentation, particularly from to make the payment from the importers. Certificate for documents negotiated directly. Optional facility to be convert from one scheme to another scheme in case of exporter is denied the benefits under one scheme, he shall be entitled to claim the benefit under some another scheme. So some sort of facilities has been given to both the exporter as well as importers, okay, so that may be vary from scheme to scheme. Newcomers to be entitled for license without any verifications against execution of the bank guarantee. So whatever newcomers, new exporters or importers are there, so they need to entitle for some sort of license, so without giving some sort of bank guarantee, so that can be permitted. That depends on the kind of documents that they will permit, the government of India will permit. Some other sort of facilities whichever has been there, okay, particularly this will help to different sort of measures which are taken from the government of India, particularly under the duty neutralization instruments or duty neutralization scheme. So duty exemption entitled certificate, DEEC, okay, duty exemption entitled certificate book to be abolished, redemption on the basis of shipping bill, bank realization certificate. So companies those who are getting their shipping bill or bank realization certificates, so this scheme was being abolished. Withdrawal of advance license for annual requirement, AAL scheme, okay, so this scheme was withdrawn. The exporters can avail the advance license for any value, okay, that depends on whatever kind of criteria which has been set up. Duty entitled passbook scheme has been covered, that we were already discussed in the earlier policy. So value capital exemption granted from 429 items to be continued, okay, and on which DPP rates has been slashed on 8 out of 10 times. So on 429 items some DPP rates, okay, has been finalized, so that depending on that some sort of credit has been given to them. Reduction in rates only after some due notices. No present market value PMV verification except on specific intelligence. So net present market value criteria has been decided, okay, earlier, but after the introduction of this DPP scheme, okay, this was even abolished. Some DPP rates for exports and whether CBU or in SKD or CKD form. There are some specific forms under the DEPB schemes, okay, which will have some different meaning. Okay, DEPB for transport vehicles to Nepal in free foreign exchange. So DEPB scheme has been introduced for Nepal also to promote the international trade. Going further and continuing with duty utilization scheme, so lots of measures has been taken particularly under the EPCG. So EPCG license of rupees 100 crore or more to have 12-year export obligation period with a 5-year moratorium period. So companies those who are having the limitation for 12 years of export obligation, okay, or 5 years of moratorium period, so they were granted the EPCG license, okay, so that they can export, okay, up to 100 crore, okay, or those who are having an obligations up to 12 years. Export obligations fulfillment period extended from 8 years to 12 years in respect of units in agriculture export zones, EPZ, and in respect of companies under the revival plan of FIBR, um, BIFR. So export obligation fulfillment period has been decided, okay. Earlier it was 12 years, okay, and it should be reduced to 8 years in respect of the units belonging to agriculture export zones under some companies law, okay, those are belonging to BIFR. Supplies under deemed export to be eligible for export obligations fulfillment along with deemed export benefits. So companies those who are being taking the benefit of that deemed exports, okay, some sort of obligation fulfillment along with deemed export benefit has been decided. So lots of measures has been there even in other sort of sectors. So specifically in case of agriculture, there are lots of schemes are introduced by the government of India. We were just going through these different schemes. Okay, Vishesh Krishi Upaj Yojana was introduced under this scheme along with the companies those who are being producing under the different SEZ or EPZ. Some agro or agri export zones were set up, okay, even using some duty free under the EPCG scheme, okay, even some SEZ has been exempted from bank guarantee under the EPCG. So lots of policy measures were took place under these foreign trade policies 2004 to 9. So this is the our last policy that we are discussing 2004 to 9. Similarly, in case of handlooms, okay, so lots of other measures has been take place. So specific funds would be embarked under the market access initiative scheme for promoting handloom exports. Okay, some other features which are related with duty free import entitlement scheme for those establishment or units those who can export up to 5% of FOB value in the financial year. So lots of different measures has been introduced even for handloom sector also. So many are being listed over here. New towns of export excellence with threshold limit of 250 crore shall be notified. Okay, new towns from which the export has been happening from those towns, okay, their limit has been increased to 250 crore, and lots of other different measures took place. Similarly, for handicrafts, okay, number of initiatives would be taken places by the government of India. So new handicraft SEZ shall be established. So SEZ, special economic zones specially for handicrafts has been set up, okay, under the cottage industries, okay, to boost up, to provide the boost up for that cottage sector. Even duty entitled passbook scheme, duty free import entitlement scheme was introduced for those establishment up to 5% of the FOB value. Okay, even Handicraft Export Promotion Council, okay, HEPC, okay, has been set up particularly in those areas, say for example northern eastern Jammu Kashmir, okay, or other related areas, okay, so as to boost, give them some sort of boost. The specific funds to be earmarked under market access initiative scheme. CBD is exempted on duty free import of trimmings. New towns of export excellence has been identified. This is one of the very great importance, that is called as gem and jewelry sector. So import of gold up to 18 carat and above shall be allowed under the replenishment of scheme. So those exporters, those who want to convert their golds, okay, so import of gold up to 18 carat standard, that can be permitted. Even similar kind of scheme has been introduced for duty free import entitlement, okay, for entitlement of consumable for metals other than gold. Platinum shall be up to 2% of the FOB value of export has been permitted during this financial year. Duty free import entitlement of for commercial samples, those are bringing some commercial sample in the form of gem and jewelry, that should be permitted up to 1 lakh rupees. Duty free re-import entitlement of rejected jewelry, okay, that should be decided up to 2% of the FOB value. And cutting and polishing of gem and jewelry, okay, shall be treated as a manufacturing for purpose of exemption under the section 10A of Income Tax Act. So lots of measures has been there even for gem and jewelry sector, and that will very well tries to provide the boost up for many of the uh, corresponding sectors also. Similarly, some other form of facilities and lots of development has been made under leather and footwear sector. So duty free import entitlement for specified items, which can be decided up to 5% of the FOB value. Duty free entitlement for import of trimming, embellishment, okay, footwear components, leather as well as synthetic, gloves, travel bags up to 3% of the FOB value. So there are lots of measures could be taken from the government of India. Similarly, some entitlements shall also cover packing material, printed and non-printed printed shoe boxes, okay, small cartoons, okay, made on woods, tin, plastic material for packing footwear items, okay, this can be permitted. So that is all about our the foreign trade policies or exempt policies. So from 2004 we will change the nomenclature to the foreign trade policies. When we are talking about these foreign trade policies, okay, the government of India has been continuously strives to take the lots of initiative. So in this slide we came to know about what are the special focus initiative and what are the features of that special focus initiative that the government of India has took place from time to time. So let us just tries to give some overlook. General provisions regarding the import and export. So government has streamlined these strategies to promote the export, okay, and as well as promotional measures, lots of promotional measures for export, okay. Duty exemption and remission scheme has been introduced so that the exporters could be get benefited. Export promotion of capital goods scheme was introduced, okay, that may tries to provide the boost up to the exporters. Export oriented units, okay, electronic hardware technology parks, okay, software technology park STP and biotechnology parks were set up across many of the parts of the India, as well as special economic zones, free trade zones, okay, as well as warehousing zones, including the setup of State Trading Corporation, okay, STC, that has been primarily included under the special focus initiative, and deemed export has been continued. Along with that, some special focus initiative would be on market diversification. So lots of measures has been taken from the government of India so as to promote the business within the country domestically as well as internationally. Technological upgradation, support to status holders, agricultural, handloom, handicraft, gem and jewelry, leather, marine products, electronic and IT hardware products, manufacturing industries, green products, export of products from northern eastern states. Okay, sports goods as well as toy sector has been promoted so as to promote the export from this sector. So the government of India has identified some trusted areas, okay, and they will believe to promote these areas continuously, okay, and right from the first policy to the present policies, the government continuously strives to make the lots of changes in these policies, particularly in case of agriculture, handlooms and handicrafts, gem and jewelry, leather and footwear. One another that is called as software, which is also contributing very well, okay, particularly for the development of India's exports. So these are the special focus initiatives of the India's foreign trade policies, and number of times the government of India has taken the various kinds of initiatives by providing lots of incentives and other measures. So that's all about our today's session. Thank you very much.